Hey guys, what's up? My name is Anthony, and welcome to another edition of BNA Sports Talk. So today I want to talk about my whole opinions about free agency yesterday and potentially what we can do today. So this is going to be a very rapidly moving thing. I'm going to do a Blake Martinez film analysis maybe later, but I may just do it in this video. I don't know. So let's talk about James Bradberry. I made a video about him a couple days ago. It ended up being quite popular. It got a little bit more views than one of my normal video gets, and that's because we signed him, and I was like, yeah, great. But I made a video of film analysis before. And I didn't watch every one of his games. What I did notice is that he played very well against the elite. Everyone knows now. He played really well against the elite receivers of the NFC South. He held down Mike Evans. He got burned once or twice, and sometimes the quarterback didn't look his way, and the guy was wide open. But he's an overall solid guy. He doesn't allow a lot of separation, and he's not afraid to be physical, and that's going to help with Amari Cooper. My opinion has changed the more I look at him. And honestly, I think the Giants needed a cornerback. I know I said don't be desperate at a position, but I think he's solid. I think he's the best you can do because I don't feel like drafting a cornerback late in the draft and all of a sudden be like, okay, replace Corey Ballantyne. You know, with James Bradberry, he has the innate playmaking ability. He has a feel for where the ball is going to go. Sometimes he just broke off his route because he noticed another receiver is going to get the ball. He made up for the insufficiencies of his defense, and that's something I didn't really give him credit for. I think he's an overall solid receiver. Again, in this division, you have Amari Cooper, but we don't really have a number one wide receiver. When we play a team with a number one wide receiver, he's going to guard him one-on-one, and I'm confident that he's not going to get burned. He doesn't have as good straight line speed as Janoris Jenkins has, but he has the length. And again, you're afraid to throw it his way. Janoris Jenkins, you weren't really afraid. Janoris Jenkins did well. I think he was on the downward trajectory of his career. He didn't really fit with us. I think they're both even players. But James Bradberry fits with Dave Gettleman, will fit in this locker room. I think he's a solid pick. More opinions about him later, but overall solid. Blake Martinez, okay, I think the Giants are just going to try to trade his contract after 2 years or a year. That's what I think of it. It was kind of like what the Knicks did. They didn't get their number one target, which is unfortunate. I would have liked Kyle Van Noy, 4 years, $12.5 million. But I think you could trade his contract after 2 years. He'll be 28. Again, that's what's good about signing young guys. You can trade their contracts eventually. If you sign an Antoine Bethea, veteran leadership, but nobody's going to want to trade for their contract really. Or trade for them at all. You know, they're just going to wait till they go in free agency. That's what happened to Atlanta's cornerback, and they end up getting nothing for him. That's why, you're a little bit cautious. But Blake Martinez, he's slow. Oh, my God, he's slow. He didn't hit the gaps as fast. I'm going to put up a couple of clips of him. The game against the 49ers was really telling. That's his worst tape. He was just getting torched. Some plays, he just looked completely lost, shooting the A gap when he should shoot the B gap. Now, this is common for a linebacker. Sometimes you just miss. You can't be right every single time. But I think that he was a second too late to react. And he sometimes got lazy with tackling. Sometimes he tried to use his arms. He doesn't have the biggest size. He's under 240 pounds. He can't use his physicality, and he doesn't have speed. If you're that low weight, I know 240 pounds is pretty heavy for the average person. But if you're that weight, you better be really physical. You better be fast. You better be quick on tape and get to that point of attack. And sometimes speed comes with strength. M times V, I guess. For the M times A, whatever, for your physics people out there. I just took a physics test yesterday, so I'm in that physics mode right now, if you know what I'm saying. But Blake Martinez, it's solid. At least we signed him to $10 million. It allows us to do a couple more things than we would want. This year's linebacking class wasn't that great, to be totally honest. Kyle Van Noy. Well, you had Corey Littleton. But let's see what contract he gets. That's my whole opinion about it. We already used too many linebackers for the Rams and players from the Rams. We got Janoris Jenkins, Alec Ogletree, and a bunch of other players from the Rams. Let's try to get players from some other team. So it's solid. I'm not too sure Joe Judge sees in him, to be totally honest, but I could be proved wrong. As far as that middle linebacker position, you think Ryan Conley has better man-on-man skills. He could be a good depth piece depending on what we do later in the draft and free agency. If I don't know about Blake Martinez is that we need a depth. He's a good depth piece. I know $10 million is a little bit too much for a depth piece, but if we can get Isaiah Simmons too, even if we don't, we still have a decent linebacker. We didn't play our hand too much. I think this sets us up perfectly for the draft. We can take a left tackle. If Isaiah Simmons falls to us, we can pick him. And if Jeff Okudah falls to us, we can potentially trade back as well. So next, I want to talk about what potential moves we can make today. There are three of them. So first of all, tag and trade for Anthony Harris. He's 31 years old, but he had his best season last year. I think you can get a third-round pick for him. And the Minnesota Vikings would make this trade. They just got rid of Stephon Diggs, and now they have an extra first-round pick. They're going to need to clear up an extra cap space to actually pick and actually make that pick worthwhile to sign them and things like that. They have some extra picks. They need to clear some more cap and for the draft. And I think Anthony Harris is overall solid. He'll provide some leadership for this team. We need a free safety. That's probably our sixth need on this team. I said cornerback was on fourth. Now that I look at it more, safety is one of our top three needs right now. And you need a guy to be back there, to know what he's doing, to be a signal caller, to be a leader. That's probably why we brought Blake Martinez in a little bit. I'm not sure, but he's no Luke Kuechly. And yeah, so I think that Anthony Harris would be a good idea. Next, Trey Boston from Carolina. I think this is a move that we might make, but I think it's a move that we shouldn't make. He's a year older. He made so many mental errors. Like when I was watching James Bradbury, I'm like, what are you doing, Trey Boston? He's a little bit flashy on tape. Like, he's fast. He can get to the point. But sometimes he just took a penalty. Sometimes he just blew coverage, and they start looking at each other like, what are you doing? And I don't really like that. I really don't. And even if it's not really your fault and maybe it's more coaching, I don't really want that on my team, and especially he's pretty old now. And yeah, so next, another move that I think we can make is a center, Connor McGovern. We have around $14.5 million to spend. I should have mentioned that. According to what Dave Gettleman wants, I would cut Antoine Bethea and sign Anthony Harris Jr. right now. But we can also sign Connor McGovern, a center. John Halapio, we put a 10-year, he's a restricted free agent now. I forget what the Giants exactly did with him, but I'm thinking going to next season with John Halapio. There's one play against the Eagles last year, which is the guy shot the gap between Will Hernandez and John Halapio, and he got the sack, and I think Daniel Jones ended up fumbling on that play or something like that. That was just, if I can find it, I'll put it up on the screen, but you can't do that. He was the 33rd ranked center in the league. Connor McGovern was ranked top 5, I believe, last year, so that's already upgrade center. And now, if you think about it, take a look at your front three, your inside three, for your offensive line. Will Hernandez, Connor McGovern, and then Kevin Zeitler. And I think that's pretty good. And then you draft your right tackle of the future, Andrew Thomas, who's a good run blocker. All of a sudden, you have a pretty good offensive line. I think that's a move you can make. He'll command around $12 million. And then with that last couple $1 million, you potentially have like $5 million left. You sign a wide receiver. And yeah, that's what I would do. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Hope you guys do enjoy this video. Hopefully we don't make a move before I upload this video. I probably will still upload this video no matter what the moves they make, because I'll be proven right or wrong. But I'm recording this video around, what time is it? 9:15 on today's Tuesday. So if any moves are made, sorry, but see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.